As mentioned in the previous slide, Wall Street tends to view acquisitions rather unfavorably, and researchers do as well, thinking that mergers are great if you're a seller, but not so great if you're a buyer. The buyer, according to McKinsey, typically pays a premium of about 10 to 25%. Consequently, the stock of an acquired company, the seller, typically jumps about 20% in the year following the merger or news of the merger, while that of the acquiring company stays flat or, in the case of CVS, drops. Um, According to Jensen and Rubeck, the typical reasons for overpayment are overoptimistic growth projections, overestimation of synergies, and simple overbidding. Put in terms of Porter's tests, most mergers fail the cost of entry test based on the too high prices that are paid. That being said, this is a case where an acquisition does seem preferable to an alliance, insofar as there are reciprocal synergies at work. And there was also the threat that if CVS didn't buy Aetna, someone else would. And in fact, there was another merger very much like this one, not long after it happened. Also, the synergies involved are more on the expense side or the cost side than on the revenue side, where, according to McKinsey, the greater dangers lie. Companies tend to overestimate their sales after an acquisition to a greater extent than they do their expenses. A big question to ask, however, is whether this merger will really grant a competitive advantage, given that CVS's competitors are now similarly vertically integrated. Kaiser, for example, has healthcare, pharmacy, and pharmacy benefit management all in the same house. The same is true for Cigna, Humana, I believe all the others. So CVS is going to have to craft a competitive advantage in another way, not just by the simple acquisition of Aetna. CVS's stock price is still down, which expresses, I think, a somewhat negative view of the overall outcome of this acquisition, and its financial ratios are still alarming. So a lot of work remains to be done. This strategy is not by any means complete.